Hello, everybody. I am Sandy Shook. This is Coffee with Sandy. Coffee with Sandy was formed on a mission to actually talk about pivotal moments in people's lives, to let everybody know that sometimes we go through different spaces in our head, in our minds, in our careers, that sometimes it doesn't work out the way we think it's going to. And I really want to drive home to everybody that even though that happens, things actually do really turn out. So I have the pleasure today of meeting with Lisa. And Lisa, if you can introduce yourself to everybody, that would be great.
Thank you, Sandy. So I'm Lisa Sinnott, and I live here in Colorado Springs now 11 years this summer. And I am a mother of 4 children. I'm married to John Sinnott, who's a dance instructor and a software engineer during the day.
I guess I didn't realize he was a software
engineer.
Jeez. Yeah, software engineer. That's what I used to do at Oracle. So,
Yes. So it's interesting because people are very surprised that he's a software engineer and he's a dance instructor. So it's a good blend. He's an ambivert like me. So we're both very, we can go very outgoing.
I was just going to ask you what the definition of that word is.
Yeah. Whenever I took those personality tests, I always hovered over the circle and I always wanted to be in one of the boxes and I could never get in the box. And I always felt almost like an outcast, like, why aren't I fitting in these boxes? And then I realized, oh my gosh, it's okay. I'm an ambivert.
Yeah. My gosh. Well, thank you, because I know I'm older than you. And after all these years, that's the first time I've really thought about, it's okay. Not to fit into a box. I have thought about that too.
Yes.
But to actually have that described as how you describe that. So.
Yes. Yeah, because I realized pretty early on in my business career that I was a chameleon. I could blend in any environment. If I was amongst the accountants, I could totally get along with them. I could geek out on spreadsheets. Or if I was like having to speak in front of people, I could do that too. So I was like, oh, what is this? I'm not the perfect mold for people, but it worked for me.
That's awesome. So when you were in second grade, do you remember back in second grade what you wanted to be?
No. No.
Did you have any aspirations, like any kind of dreams of, little kids? Because I know that I did.
Yeah, no, actually. I will say this. I did know probably, I think it was 4th grade, that I wanted to be a mama.
Oh.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
And even all the way up through high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. And I hated people asking me that question.
Yeah.
And I was like, stop asking me. I really don't know. And I would just cringe. And even when the family members would come over the holidays, I would specifically spin on my heels because I knew who would ask me that question.
Yes. And I think when I was graduating high school, that was one of the things that I was like, what am I good at? Because that's what they say. You're supposed to figure out what you're good at. And it's like, I don't know. I think I can do almost anything.
Yeah.
But I did have a great teacher in geometry.
Oh, good.
And accounting.
A teacher does everything.
Oh, yes. And he was geometry and then he was accounting. And he kept telling me, you are really good at this. And he was so particular where it's like, if you made your letters or numbers wrong, he would be like, can you do that a little neater?
Oh, wow.
All right. So I made sure I was a good girl and did it all right. So after high school then.
Yes.
You went to college?
Yes. Yep.
And
I went to college. I actually went to a junior college. I got a year and a half under my belt. And then I got married very young and had kids and got off the path of college. And I started life. I started.
How many kids?
Working full time. I have 4 now.
Okay.
I birthed 3, but now I have a bonus son with John.
Cool.
So
yeah. Very nice.
Yep.
So, career path was a stay-at-home mom then when you first
No. So I worked full time right out the gate. And then I was putting myself through college, and then I fell in love, got married. And then, I did AAA Northern California for 12 years.
AAA?
Yeah.
What'd you do for them?
I worked in the call center for 12 years,
Oh my
if you
goodness.
can imagine that.
No, I cannot imagine.
I know.
You didn't take calls the whole time though, right?
No. Well, I did for a while. I mean, I grew up in it. So I fell in love with customer service.
Ah.
That's what had me stick and stay. Like, I was just so passionate about it. And I moved up the ranks in management and training and development, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you end up in Colorado?
Wow. Actually, my mom and sister lived here, and my mom had cancer. And my sister called me. I was an Air Force wife. I was following him around the country all the time, and I lost a lot of years with my mom, unfortunately. But we got the call that she took a turn for the worse. So we asked the Air Force to move us here, and they did. And unfortunately, she passed within the week that I got here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Horrible.
Yeah.
But I realized that really, I think Mom was waiting for the sisters to come together so that we could just be together.
You'd have each other. Yeah.
Yes. So I decided to stick and stay.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And
which equals 11 years. I have moved 29 times in my life.
Oh, wow.
29.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
And I'm pretty sure it might be more than that. But I tried to go by residence, and I'm like, okay, which one? Wow, 29.
Well, it's funny because I've read and I've heard that the average person will actually have at least 12 places of residency.
Oh, really? That's average.
Yeah, that's average.
Yeah.
So, of course, when I hear that, I'm like counting. Where did I live? I don't know if I'd be able to even figure out in the, almost 40 years now.
Yeah.
Next year, it was 40 years that I've been out here.
Here. Okay. So that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you moved, I counted, even when I'm here, how many times I moved within here.
Yeah.
So what's your guess for you?
I think I'm at 10.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
That's good. That's awesome.
And now you own a home.
Yes.
And you have the dance studio.
Yes.
In the home, correct?
Correct. Yes.
I don't know if that changed or not.
Yeah. So we got married right as COVID was semi-ending. And so we built a house, and I was like, all the dance studios in town completely shut down during COVID. So I was like, hey, let's build a dance studio, and let's give because we knew we had the teenagers coming up, right? They were tweens at the time. But I was like, let's just give them their own little suites. They can have their own bebopper friends, their own space.
Yeah.
We do a dance floor for you. And it's fabulous. We have so much fun.
So tell me how John got into the dancing. I mean,
actually, when he started in college, he started dancing with
competitive
his buddy.
Dancing then?
No, not at the time. Just fun honky tonk dancing. And then he learned how to cook also from one of his college buddies. His mother still says, I'm not to thank for that, but he does cook amazing. That was one of the draws.
Yes. How did the two of you meet? Was it through dancing?
Through the dance community, actually.
Really?
Yeah. We were friends for 4 years before we came together and finally acknowledged feelings. It took COVID to slow us down. Yes.
I love it.
I honestly don't know if we'd be together, because really, he was super busy working full time as a software engineer. And then at night, he was like dance instructing everywhere. And even now, I mean, he instructs in different dance studios.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's a very collaborative dance instructor, and he supports a lot of dance businesses in town.
Well, and I have actually seen different videos of the two of you competing. That's why I bring it up, because I think it's so exciting. My mom and dad used to compete.
Oh.
And, I could only see them dancing when we went to weddings that they were, and it was just kind of like, I'd love to dance like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's really neat that the two of you are, that's kind of a connection that you have.
It is a connection. Yes. It's a challenge too, though. I will say that, because, he's a dance instructor. So He's
And
a
you were not a
perfectionist.
dancer before?
I was a dancer as a child and growing up, but that was more ballet, never partner dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Partner dancing is a lot like a marriage. I mean, you have to read each other, feel each other, and go and give in to the lead, which is like, for me, my husband, but whoever I'm dancing with, same type of format. If he's leading, I have to follow. And a lot of strong,
not control.
right? The control. So women have to let go.
Yeah,
and it's funny because right now we're teaching a couple for their wedding how to dance for their wedding dance. And then we have another couple starting this Saturday that we're going to work with. And I love it because they're all ooey gooey and so in love. But at the same time, when you get two people who don't know how to dance and you're in love, but they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's so frustrating.
Well, and if you can get through the dance lessons.
Right. Then you know you might be right? I think so many thoughts during the lessons. I'm like, oh, they have no idea.
So growing up, did you spend a lot of time with your family? Did you have like holiday traditions or anything like that share? Do you have favorite holiday?
I would say I loved decorating the Christmas tree. That was our biggest holiday tradition that I loved to do. My mom and my stepdad always enjoyed a bottle of champagne and watched the kids as we all decorated the tree. And back then, of course, we had cats, but we still did the tinsel one by one, artistically on every single angle on the tree. I had it
do you
down.
Do that now?
No.
Okay. So you were the balancer, right?
Yes. And then I was so tiny, but I would get up on a little ladder and all the way. Yeah. Oh, I got it down. I loved it. But it was so much fun. It was just that one time of year that was just
And
fun.
did you do that like some people do it Christmas Eve, others do it like right after Thanksgiving. That's when I do.
Right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I loved, and we would keep it up after New Year's, like till January 5th or something.
Yeah.
And I still try to do the same. I love Christmas.
Yeah. I love all the lights.
But I love Thanksgiving too. Because that's a time of gratitude and Thanksgiving. And that is my family knows that is my holiday.
Really?
I love
and
being grateful.
You are very good at entertaining, I think. Anyway.
Thank you.
I've only been, entertained by you for, a couple times.
Yes.
But,
yes.
I really enjoy that about showing up and knowing that you're such a gracious host.
Thank you, Sandy.
Oh my gosh. But you can definitely tell that you do enjoy entertaining and bringing people together.
I love people. Gift of hospitality. I love it.
So from then once you moved out here and you met John, what did you decide to do for a career? I mean, what did you start? You obviously did customer service for so long, but then when you moved out here, did you move with the same company?
No. I had a long journey from California to here.
A lot of pivotal moments.
A lot of pivotal moments. But when I got here, I was an Air Force wife. So I went through a horrible divorce. That took a minute, years, but a minute.
But you got through it.
I got through it.
And how did you push forward? Because divorce is never easy for anybody.
It's not. And it was my second divorce. But I knew, and I was, trophy wife, all the things. I gave it all up, put it all in storage so he could have everything, and just took off and ran.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing I could think to do. But I did come full circle back here. I did that for like 90 days. And then I ended up back here because...
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
90 days, when you said a long time, I'm like...
Oh, no.
Couple years?
We'll talk offline. There is a long journey.
Well, I can tell you that my whole stories, the path that I've been on, it's taken quite a few years for me to regroup. Not necessarily change who I am, but figure out who I am again alone.
Right.
So.
Well, I will say this. So recreating Lisa, I was a stay-at-home mom. We purposely had Brooklyn, and we agreed I was going to be a stay-at-home mom for all those years. So when I landed here, she was 3, potty training her, all the things. And then the divorce happened, and I all of a sudden had to work after 10 years of not working.
Yeah.
And at the time, before I married him, I was on an executive level team out in Nashville, Tennessee, flying all over the United States, doing training and development. I was in the high of my career, gave it all up to marry an officer in the Air Force. So when people look at your resume, luckily I was a key spouse with the Air Force, and that is all about giving back, working with the commanders. So that alone was a very big job. So I had that on my resume. So there wasn't like a true gap, but there was like no money there gap.
Right.
Yeah. And people were judgy on that.
Yeah.
I remember trying to look for work, and I was too qualified, and they would even, I was like, I'll be a waitress. Like, can I serve? I'm willing to do anything. Like and they wouldn't hire me. I'm like, what is going on? And then it took my sister, Kim, to actually take me out networking for the first time.
Oh, wow.
She's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Tomorrow morning, you're meeting me at 7:30 over here. And it was Buzz with the Bees.
Oh, wow.
On the soccer field.
Okay.
Yeah, it's with the BBB.
Okay.
So you haven't been? Oh,
No,
you need to go. They're a fabulous event. But anyway, I get there, and she's like, just dress cute. Meet me at 7:30 a.m. on the soccer field over here. And I was like, okay, cool. Both my girls were soccer girls, but she said wear a dress. So I showed up cute. I was like, people get paid to do this? What is happening right now? And then I got hired on very quickly, actually, with doing the non-medical home care.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot you did that.
And so doing business development, and that was so easy. And I could not believe I was being paid to do it. It was just fabulous. I was like, okay, I could do this all day.
All right. And I think I felt that way when I first started networking. I don't know how many years ago now, 4 years ago, almost 5, where it was like, I would always tell people, if I could get paid to do this, I'd do this all day long.
Yeah.
But of course, it does get taxing after time.
It does.
And you get home and it's like, I definitely need my downtime.
Yes. You got to replenish.
My Hallmark movie just to,
recharge.
Yes.
I get that.
Because it's no brainer. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yes. And I don't even have to watch all of it.
Exactly. Yes. I totally relate to that. Because I'm known as the master connector here.
Yes.
And so by the time I get home, I am pretty depleted. Because it's what I do all day. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the last year, you kind of shifted over to Frank and Lisa.
Yes. The Be Encouraged.
Yes.
So it's been a year and a half now already.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, that's very crazy.
We actually just the other day got an LLC finally.
Oh, wow.
Be Encouraged LLC, which is very exciting. It's just taking off. It's just amazing how it's taking off. But yes, our whole big mission is to infuse hope and encouragement throughout the world. This year, I also launched my resilience speaking platform and workshops. Predominantly for women. I don't mind speaking in front of large groups if men are there, but I really feel like women need to focus on the resilience within them. And that's my big mission in life, is to pour into them as much as possible, focusing on resilience.
That's great.
Yeah.
What made you shift? Because you were initially, I think that you're still the connector, right?
Yep.
Do you still have the innovation?
So I do have Innovate Success, but it's okay. But it's Connect to Success powered. I did a DBA, Innovate Success. But yes, I'm not getting paid anymore for giving referrals. Yeah.
Okay. And what made you take that shift? What was that?
God spoke to me very clearly in January that I needed to begin speaking, writing books, all the things. And I was like, no. 4 years from now, when I'm an empty nester.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
That's my timeline. Yes. But you can't argue with him. So I was like, okay, so I am purely being obedient. I am the vessel, and I am doing it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you mentioned workshops. I personally have not known that you're doing workshops.
Yes.
So of course it's because I know that, I've been doing some shifting myself, but tell me about the workshop.
Okay. So, well, resilience workshops as well, but one coming up, super excited about this. It is for women with fertility issues. It is a support group, and I've actually been with Mary Catherine.
Yes.
So she is a certified fertility dietitian, and I am on the resilience side. So the two of us, there are no support groups for women on fertility in this city. If you can believe that.
I did not know that.
Not a one. So we are starting that in September. Super excited about that.
That's
so
really exciting.
Please spread the word for women who are having fertility issues. I really feel like they need a room to come to be heard, to just unload, and a safe place where we can all come together and meet each other's needs at that female to female level.
Right. When is that actually starting?
The first Thursday of September.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how do you get yourself out of a funk?
How do I get myself out of a funk?
Yeah.
Lisa time.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it happens quite a bit.
And what kind of stuff do you do then? Is it just you just go in a room and shut yourself down from everybody, or?
Oh gosh, it depends where I'm at when it hits. If like last night I felt in a funk. I mean, it just happened like randomly. So I showered, and I usually shower in the morning. I showered, and then I went into bed, snuggled with the kitty, and watched a show for an hour. Totally got out of my head. It was a suspenseful show. Your Honor, have you seen it?
I've heard about it.
It's my new addiction.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. But it's the only show that gets me out of my head, where I don't think about anything else but what is going to happen next on the show.
Oh, wow.
That's a good way for me to like get out of a funk.
Yep.
And then after I was done with that, I walked out and told John, okay, yes, we are doing the gym. And I packed my gym bag.
You could actually get prepared for the next day.
Correct. So I really felt better inside by the time I went to bed, because I had a goal of being totally on my game first thing tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. But other thing, I'm an avid hiker. I love nature. I believe in looking up always. If you're feeling down, it's so important to look up wherever you're at, even in a room. You'd be surprised what you find in a room, even in a networking group with tons of people. I love to look up. Now you're going to start paying attention to what Lisa's looking at.
You're going to see me too.
Yes. But it really is interesting, because you see rooms from different perspectives when you move your body into different areas. At church, I specifically don't sit in the same seat ever.
Oh, wow.
I am not a creature of habit, and I do that on purpose because I really love to get to know other people, and I love different angles and the different perspective of rooms.
Yeah. So is there anybody that knows you 100%?
Two people. Not 100%, but they know my deepest everything.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
And I don't know, I'm trying to think if I have anybody like that now.
Well, this, I brought this just because it's my favorite thing in the world. Dr. Pauline Dillard, she is our marriage therapist. She came on our show. I fell in love with her, and she's like, you and John can get a package. Come with me. And it was the fabulous thing. I love her. But anyway, this is a Wheel of Pain. And it talked about all of our pain points. And I realized early on that I had a lot of pain that I buried that I didn't remember until I did this Wheel of Pain. And I thought this was the easiest exercise I've ever done. And it's me in the center, and it talks about everything from being ignored, belittled, lied to, bullied, sexually perpetrated, rebellion, inappropriate responsibilities, not valued, all the things, lots of things on here. And I literally was able to go and touch every single one. She said, take your pen from the center and touch wherever, if you felt it once in your life, 10 times, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I did that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And I was totally done. And I look over at John's, and he had his looked like a regular bicycle spokes. And mine looked like a hot spider web mess. And I'm like, John, you got to be honest here, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, Dr. Pauline said, Lisa, you're one of like under 5 people that I've helped in my whole career that have been like this.
Wow.
So you're not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was.
Yeah.
I thought all my painful experiences was normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So only her and John know my true, deepest
Yeah.
stuff
Mhm.
because I was actually able to unearth it and
Yeah.
talk about it.
Wow. Well, I admire you for that because I think that's the hardest thing is to recognize the pains of your past and how they actually affect your future.
Exactly.
Because that's one thing that I've been going through too. It's like, how did something that happened to me when I was 4 years old affect me now?
It
Why?
crops up.
Yeah,
It crops
does.
up.
But you know, when you can actually work through that, it's
Yeah.
amazing how much more relief and more clarity you have on
Yes.
reactions.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
one thing, I've been in therapy for a year and a half now, both marriage therapy on purpose, not because we had a big issue, just on purpose, and then also personal therapy. I never thought I would do therapy again. My
Mhm.
ex-husband's ruined me for therapy. But I finally did, and it was the best thing I could have ever done because now I can identify, oh, this is 6-year-old Lisa.
Yeah.
This is not what John just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with John. This has to do with what happened back when I was 6 years old. So I don't fly off the handle and get upset or get super worried about something
Yeah.
because I can identify it. Now, I have times where I don't identify it and I have a complete meltdown,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a lot better.
But when you give yourself Lisa time, I think, because I can tell you when I give myself time, I can really, that's when I actually can sit back and go, okay, why did I react? And I can kind of work through that in my head to figure out, oh, okay.
Yes.
So I'm probably putting words in your mouth here, but that's kind of what the Lisa time is all about, to figure that kind of stuff out
Yes.
sometimes too.
And
So,
yeah, and I'm a mother of 2 14-year-olds now.
Oh, yes.
So pray for me.
fun.
Life is good. But there are moments where I'm like at the dinner table and I'm at my point and I realize it. So I get up, excuse myself, and I go to the restroom
Mm-hmm.
and I just have a moment, at least a moment,
Yes.
regroup.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Mhm.
Breathe in, breathe out, go back out there and have a great dinner with the family.
Good for you.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Because, you know, teenagers, they love,
They like
kids
to
in
poke.
general.
Poke the bear.
Oh, yeah, they know every single button. They've studied you their whole life.
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. So do you have anything on a bucket list outside of the one?
Oh, I have
Thing that
lots
you-
of things
Yeah.
on a bucket list.
Oh, what do you have?
Oh, my
Do you
goodness.
mind sharing some of the things?
Sure.
Yeah.
So traveling the world. I have lived in Europe a couple years. I've traveled quite a bit for a normal person from the U.S., I would say. But I'm an avid traveler, and I can't travel right now because, yeah, I'm a mom and I'm stuck here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I'm an empty nester, I have full plans on traveling the world. Frank and I, now that we're going around the world doing Infusing Hope and Encouragement,
Mm-hmm.
so that's opening up doors too. So I fully plan to do little nuggets of travel within these 4 years for the Be Encouraged show.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have this vision of John and I going to the most epic, beautiful locations and having our little tripod and doing little dance videos and doing lives on
where
that.
Lisa and John
Yes,
are.
it's like, where's Waldo? Where's John and Lisa? Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally dream of that. I think it would be so much fun.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
so much fun. Wow.
He's not traveled.
really?
He hasn't even been to
Still?
Disney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like
well, that would
he's-
be the first place you need to go.
It's thousands of dollars, but I'm going to do it.
It's worth the experience.
It's my bucket list.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the VIP experience with John
Wow.
at Disney.
And here I just want to go on another cruise. You know?
Yeah. I love cruising. He's never been on a cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's on.
Yeah.
I love cruising too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, fun. Well, I think we're going to have to wrap it up just because I know that one of the things that I do also admire about you is your scheduling and how you keep things on track
Yes.
I admire you so much for that, because there are times that I'm like, okay, I can squeeze that in.
Yes.
But you're very good with your scheduling. So
yes, I've learned that.
yeah.
And I actually have my timer every single time.
Yes.
You've experienced the timer.
Yeah.
Every time I meet with someone, if it's a 45-minute, it's a 45-minute meeting. If it's an hour, it's an hour, and that's it. I got to bounce. And people respect that, though. I let them know ahead of time. Otherwise, I couldn't do all that I do if I don't do really good time management.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending some time with me today.
Thank you. This is fun.
Yeah, well, I think so too. And I think there's a lot more that we can delve into, another time. So I would love to have you.
Let's do a part 2.
Yes.
Fabulous. I look forward to it.
Sounds great. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I am Sandy Shook. I am your mortgage advisor. What that means is I can try to help you get into a home if you don't already have one. At least make a plan. That's all I ask for, is to sit down with me, get an idea of what you can afford, and then just let's get on a plan so that you can get into that dream home that you've been looking for, or at least your first home. Also, too, I can look at your finances to make sure that, refinancing may or may not be what you should do, or get into an investment property. There's a lot of folks that I know that are starting now getting into investments, and I'd love to talk to you about that. And Lisa, if you can tell everybody how to reach you.
Yes, so Lisa Sinnott, Chief Resilience Officer here in Colorado Springs. You can reach me at lisa@beencouraged.net. I'm also co-host of the Be Encouraged LLC with Frank Sinclair, and I would love to meet up with you.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. See you next time.